Hey, how's it going? Yeah, so there may come a time where you need to interface with a GPS module. Um, this is a kind of big one. There's some smaller ones like the ones you see on a FPV drone or etc. Um, but what we're going to talk about today is how to interface with one of these so you can see if it works, so you can change configuration settings, so you can basically do so much more with this GPS than as if you didn't connect to it. So I just have for reference here, this is a U-Block 6M, pretty standard chipset, or breakout, I guess you could call it. It has just like one of these half size or quarter size cut in half ceramic antennas on it. But yeah, whatever. You can use any GPS module. It doesn't have to be U-Blocks. It can be from any manufacturer. And what you're going to want to get first is Ucenter. You can type it in on Google, U-Blocks Ucenter, and I'll put a link. But what it is a like kind of like, I don't know if you ever use BL Heli Configurator. It's a configuration suite that lets you configure all these different options for your GPS module. It allows you to set the rates, like, because it can run at different speeds, and it will impact how it runs basically. So whatever, here you got your GPS module, and what you're gonna need is one of these. I got it right here. It is a USB to serial adapter. These are really cheap. You can get them for like $1. USB to TTL adapter. This is a, I'm actually zoomed in right now. Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. This is a CH340 version. That just means it has a CH340 IC. That's like a pretty common cloned. There's some different versions of it, but this seems like the easiest to use and the cheapest. It's actually usually labeled. It probably won't focus for me, but it's labeled from top to bottom: 5-volt VCC, 3v3, TXD, RXD, and ground. And depending on what your GPS module can handle, it can do either 5 volts or it can do 3 volts. You just plug it into whatever pin you need. So what we are going to do is plug our GPS module in. So we know that this is, and we'll just double check, this is our power. We're going to put the power in. This thing can take 5 volts, so we're going to stick in the 5-volt slot. We're going to connect our ground pin to our ground on the serial, and then we're going to hook our RX pin. It's kind of backwards. You're going to hook the RX pin to the TX pin on the USB adapter. RX pin to TX pin, and then the TX pin is going to go to the RX pin. And so the TX pin is going to the RX pin, and then the ground goes to ground. So now we have positive 5 volts is going to VCC on the module. The TX pin on the USB is going to the RX pin on the module. The RX pin on the USB is going to the TX on the module, and the ground is going to the ground. And we are done plugging in our CH340 TTL to USB adapter. Now we can plug it in to our computer, and it should automatically install the driver for us. So I'm gonna plug it in here gently that I don't rip all this stuff out. And it's plugged in, and I don't know if you can see it. This one is blinking to tell you that it's working. Usually that's a good thing when it's blinking. So we go back to our Ucenter that we already downloaded. There's one of my video things and my mess of a thing here. And we go to Ucenter, and then from there you can see it has all these different tabs and displays and stuff like that. All we're gonna need to do is connect to our USB, which basically you figure out which COM port it is. The way you do that is you go to your device manager and you can see the USB to TTL adapter, and you can figure out which COM port it is. I think mine is 3. So up at the top here in your Ucenter, you'll see it looks like a connection, looking like it looks like a plug, and it'll say connect on the tooltip. You can go down to what COM port you think it is and hit that one. And the trick to getting this to work is to figuring out what baud rate that your module is running at by default, because it won't connect unless it's at the what the module is. And the way you can do that, you can kind of cheat. You can just run through it. Like you can start at like the lowest one, 4800, go to 9600, 19, and you'll actually see it start to kind of spring to life when it finds the right one that it needs. I actually forget what this is. And I might not have it hooked up right either. And I might not have the COM port right, so. Oh, that looks like something. See, this one's blinking. It's blinking at the bottom now. And, I'm going through the baud rates again. Oh, okay, so I found the right baud rate, 57,600, and you see that it's starting to find GPS. I'm actually in the basement right now, so it's amazing that it's finding GPS signal. But basically, I don't know if you can see that here, it'll show you the GPS satellites and how much power you got there. Wow, it's finding them in my basement. That's pretty crazy for this cheap $3 GPS module. But yeah, so it shows a display of where you are. It'll eventually get a 3D fix, and from here you can do all kind of different configuration options, and it's all free. It's called Ucenter, and so yeah, I'll just touch on this lightly, but you basically from here you can go to your receiver configuration. And so the tools tab, receiver configuration. Oh, I'm totally wrong with that. Configuration view. Go to view, configuration view, and from there you can set all these different settings. The trick to do it is you pull the settings, so you're like getting information. You're pulling information from the controller, so you pull it, and then that'll refresh all your settings, and then from there you can change this different settings. Like here's continuous power mode, and yeah, sorry about that. And then, wow, so yeah, look at, if you look here, these are all the different GPS satellites that it's found. And yeah, it's pretty great. Just wanted to share it. It's called Ucenter, and it's by the U-Blocks Corporation. It's completely free, and it's a great way to edit and modify your GPS modules. Alright, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe.